Hello everyone and welcome to the 7th episode of the Top 5 Weekly. In this series, each week we have a look at the most popular creations on the workshop itself, analysing each one of the submissions, discovering their features and finally testing them out in the world of Stormworks. Now, if you're enjoying these videos, comment below and let me know what else you would like to see in my upcoming videos. While there, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and remember to click that bell icon to be notified of any of my upcoming content as soon as it's posted. So let's straight into it and let's get started. Now, we're going to be kicking off this week's episode first off with a ship. Now, today's vessel is going to be the utility catamaran LC ADV. This is done by a creator called Poosloth. Yes, you heard that name right, it's Poosloth. So pretty much it says in the name what it is. It's an advanced utility catamaran landing craft. It has 2 gas engine turbines apparently. Along with that, it also has 2 fuel tanks that actually go ahead and support those engines. It also has a storage tanks, 2 large ones to actually transfer fuel between different areas, which is quite nice. He's also gone and actually automatically put on a boat, a little tender boat that actually you can lift off the vessel itself if you need to do a little more shore-to-shore missions, or if you just need to get somewhere instead of using the large vessel itself. There's also a crane. Something that actually looks quite interesting to me is he's gone ahead and also put a helicopter refueling station on the LC itself, which is quite nice. I've seen a couple pictures where he's gone and used a helicopter, landed on, and actually just a couple tie-down points and so on and so forth, which is pretty cool. The top speed is quite nice, and there's also the ramp and some storage compartments, and also a little bit bow thruster movement down there underneath. So what we're going to do is we'll spawn this in, we'll check it out, and see how it works in the world of Stormworks. So we're going to start here on the dock area. As you can see, here we have the actual rib that they've gone ahead and loaded on automatically, which is pretty cool. Always nice to have a secondary vessel, especially on ships, just in case anything goes wrong. It's always nice to have something as a backup. As you can see, we have the ramp in the front. It looks pretty cool with all those like slots or grates in it. So well, obviously the first thing what we'll probably do is test that out after we've driven around a bit. I'm just going to go ahead and jump on. It seems like we can get on through here. There seems to be a ladder, but I'm guessing that button there is to go ahead and get on. Underneath you can obviously see that we have a couple, seems to be some kind of thrusters or propulsion system inside there. If anything, I'd probably say those are the thrusters that can rotate inside there. Along with that is, we should be able to get up here. Now I think we can probably press F here and hopefully climb up. Yeah, we can. Fantastic. I wonder what these do. That's interesting. Okay, so those actually lower down. Oh, that's pretty cool. So you can lower those little ramps down to pick up cargo if you need to, and then press them up and they'll go up. That's really cool. I like that feature. Just in case there's any like cargo or anything you need to pick up, you don't have the crane or anything. That's quite nice. So we'll carry on moving forward. It seems like we have a whole bunch of like fluid connectors on this side, along with that hatch, which you can open up from the inside. I guess you can't do it from the outside, and it opens up both ways, which is quite nice. Also, we have the little tender here, which is nice too. Along with that, seems to be a couple like tie-down points. Oh, I think this might be for the helicopter. I'm not too sure, but a couple of these once again. Seems like this is a refuel chopper and release chopper. Okay, so I guess that automatically refuels the chopper that's linked on the workshop. You have the crane itself, which is over here. I'm guessing the controls for that is inside the actual bridge itself. What is this? Okay, this seems to be... Oh, okay, so we have like a little cargo area. So we have some floats here. Oh, that's pretty cool. I wonder if can those be moved? It would be cool if those were actually movable, like they had handles in them. You can actually throw them out in the water. Obviously, the stretchers we could always bring out, so that's quite nice. Let's go ahead and close that. So a little cargo area, quite nice. Always useful to have little cargo areas. Let's go ahead and move around to this. It seems like something opens up here. Oh, hello. Okay, that's the engine room. I wonder what this is. Let's go ahead and open that up. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So you got a whole bunch of scuba gear here. Nice. We'll close that down. Now, the only thing I don't like about these is that he needs to, what I would recommend at least, is to put a clamp on these so that you can't go any further in. You can see now I'm pressing that and it keeps on going in. I would put a clamp on those. That's just my personal opinion. Let's carry on moving around. Let's just see on the other side if it's the same before we go ahead and jump. Yeah, so it seems like exactly the same on that side, and we also can get up to the bridge there. We have a little mag all at the back there, which is quite nice too. Let's go down in the engine room and check this out. So as I said earlier, it's using turbine engines going along there. Seems like just normal, nothing fancy in the engine room, but quite nice to see he's actually included it as an area that you can go down into it with the piping and obviously the grates along the floor. It is really nice to see that in a creation. So go ahead, do that. Let's close that door. And let's go up into the bridge. So it seems like I can get up from here and also from the back area itself. This door doesn't close. I don't think these do either. I haven't seen any buttons. Oh, there are buttons on the other side. Okay, so you can go and close the back ones if you want to. It makes it a little more quieter in here. Along with that, we have pilot seat, pilot seat, pilot seat. Okay, so I'm guessing one of these seats are to control. Okay, so that looks like to be unlock crane. This is, I would probably say, is the normal seat, and then this is probably going to be just like a assistant seat with all the extra buttons and so on and so forth, whereas this will probably be the driving seat if I'm correct. Yes, it is. Fantastic. So let's go jump into the crane and see what that's all about. So crane itself, we have winch, mag, unlock crane, unlock food connectors, and unlock bow tie. So let's go on the outside and see what it looks like. So we got, let's do unlock the crane. Okay, let's unlock the fluid connectors. I don't know what that does. And then unlock the bow tie. Oh, okay. So that's actually for the rib. The 5, I'm guessing, is for the connectors on the actual crane itself. And then we have, obviously, the unlock, which unlocks it from... Actually, I'm not too sure. Unlocks it from storage. And then you can move it up and down, left and right. And I'm guessing forwards and backwards. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, so you see now it's starting to move. It's starting to move forward along its rails there. Okay, so it extends out quite nicely. Nice little crane. We aren't going to test it out, but it's definitely useful, obviously, for refueling different vessels and also for picking up that little tender, which is going to be quite nice. Actually, you know, let's go ahead and let's take this tender off and see how it works. So we're going to keep on moving left, move it out a bit. I wonder if we can see, it doesn't seem to want to extend anymore, which is quite interesting to see how we would reach. Oh, hold on. It has its rail system at the bottom, which is quite useful. I wonder how we would move that along. So left and right, no. Up and down, no. Is there a button inside this area here? Unlock crane. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we unlock that crane button. Now, which buttons actually make it move along its rail? That will be the interesting part. So, doesn't seem to be any of the controls here. I wonder. So I'm guessing you would move it along. I'm just not too sure what buttons you actually use to move that along. Yeah. That's disappointing. I was hoping to try that out, but I guess we'll leave that for now, and let's go ahead and try the rest of this vessel out. So let's move on. We have left turbine, right turbine start. We have a push forward turbine idle. Okay. We have push to activate ramps, ballast systems, deck lights, interior lights, gauge lights. Let's get all those on. Why not? Spotlight up, spotlight down, turn, more ballast controls, and then this is the anchor system over there. Okay, we'll leave that for now. Let's go ahead and get into here. Push to activate ramp. Okay, so the ramp then... Okay, so the ramp goes fully out. That's pretty cool. Let's get the engine started here. I don't know if we have to undo those or not. That'll be quite interesting. And it seems like left and right also changes the ramp angle. We'll go ahead and test that out also. But let's just get these engines going. I don't know if we have to leave that off. Okay, that's started. That's started. Do I turn those off now? Oh no, those need to be on. Okay, fair enough. And then it seems like WS is to move it along. So let's go ahead and there we go. We're starting to move along. Seems like we're going up. Expecting a little bit more speed, to be honest. I don't know if we're doing anything wrong here. Ah, we are. We needed that button on. Okay, there we go. Whoa, okay, so that is quite quick for a ship this size. Obviously using the jet engines, you're getting that speed out of it, which is pretty cool. Okay, nice. Let's just slow this down here. So moving on to the next creation of the episode, what we have is going to be the Quinjet prototype North Star Special. This is done by a content creator called Utopian Destroys. Now, as it is itself is meant to be a prototype Quinjet, what he's done is, what he said at least, is it's a fictional advanced aircraft itself, which has been stripped of all of its weapons and then actually been turned into a North Star Special. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, as itself, it's going to be more of like a Harrier jump jets type of thing, as far as I can see from here. But what we're going to do is we'll spawn this in, we'll see how it works and how he's actually managed to build this, and then we'll go test it out in the world of Stormworks. Now, I really like the design of this. Overall, it's got a really good looking shape to it. Along with that, the detailing is quite nice, obviously with the North Star logos everywhere, the writing, the labeling, everything is quite nice. It just has an overall really good feel to it, which I really like. Now, moving on with it, obviously you can see here we have the wings. I don't exactly know how those actually work when we're flying it. You have the 2 jet exhausts, actually 4 jet exhausts, wow. So quite a few afterburners here. That looks really cool at the back here of the vessel, or actually creation itself. So what we're going to do is, I think we can get in this way. Okay, whoa, that was quite quick. We'll move into here. It seems like he has some rails. I'm not too sure what fits in here, what exactly does fit in there, but it'll be quite interesting to see what did. It seems like we have a whole bunch of areas for parachutes and storing a few different equipment areas there. Along with that is we have an up, down. I wonder what that does. Okay, it seems like we need some power. So we'll go ahead, activate the power, and see what what the other rest of the controls do. Circuit breaker. Okay, cool. Now let's go ahead and test out. Do we have mag up? Okay, so we have, seems like a little winch system just over here, and I guess that would be to secure cargo or to pull cargo into the actual back cargo area here. Along with that, a couple passenger seats. As I said earlier on, we have the pilot seat, another pilot seat. Once again, I'm guessing on the left is going to be the main controls. So on the first off, as you can see on the pilot seat, we have the roll, the forward, back, VTOL mode, left, right, up and down. Along with that, throttle, ignition, VTOL mode, afterburners, brakes, hold altitude system. So while we're here on the ground, we'll actually just put in the altitude now so we can test it when we're up in the air. We have the gyro, exterior lights, interior lights, spotlights, and then it seems like VTOL throttle. Set to 0.10 to hover. Okay, that'll be quite interesting. So we'll set that to 0.10 there, because we're going to test that off to start with. It's quite sensitive though. Okay, we got it there. Spotlights, interior lights, exterior lights. Let's see how it looks. Ooh, that looks really nice with the spotlights in the front there. Really like that. And then also all this detailing on the top, guys. Really nice. Really nice. So let's go ahead and get this guy started and see how it works. So what we're going to do first off is test out the VTOL mode. So we're going to go ahead and enable that. Okay, that's loud. Okay, so the fans seem to be pushing us up, and then those fans actually move us forward and backwards, and then not too sure how it, so it's stabilizing itself using all the different types of fan, which is quite nice. Oh, that's a little bit too far back. Let's move a little bit forward here. Okay, how do we go down? Is there a way to move down? So we can move forward, just don't know how to move down. Oh, there we go. So that works. So next off we're going to test out is, I'm not using the VTOL mode anymore, so we'll turn that off. As you can see, we just dropped down to the ground. Let's turn the ignition on for the actual jet engines. We'll put our hold altitude on right this very minute. Brakes are on also, we'll turn those off. Turn everything else off. And whoop, that was quick. Very quick. I wonder if the landing gear actually moves at all. It doesn't seem to come in, but very quick creation. I wonder if hold altitude, yeah, we should be at around 45. Throttle, VTOL mode, afterburners, so it can go even faster. Wow. Okay, let's get the afterburners on. Okay, we're going very fast here. Yeah, really nice little creation. Really nice little creation. Very quick, as I said earlier. Okay, that handles quite nicely. So it turns very quickly too, which is quite nice. And I'm guessing you could switch into VTOL mode while you're in the air. So if we were to go ahead and kill the throttles, hit the VTOL mode, and there you can see we've now switched into VTOL mode. done. Really nice, easy. And then you could disable the altitude hold, and I'm guessing then you could go ahead and land the craft itself. So really quite nice. Let's go ahead and move on to the next creation. Now moving on to the next creation, we have the ADI 180 Bumblebee mini copter. Now this is done by a well-known content creator called White Noise. He's had a couple of creations on the top 5 weekly in a couple of the previous episodes. Now this is meant to be his idea of a mini copter that is apparently meant to be extremely stable. It's got apparently a really high top speed. Along with that, a couple other small little cool features, something just really nice and small to just get around with and do missions with. So what we're going to do is, as always, we'll spawn this in, check it out, see how it works, and then we'll go from there. Now, starting at the front of the creation, it's a really small creation, guys. As you can see, it pretty much doesn't have anything except a couple fans, a couple seats in it, and that's pretty much about it. Now, overall, it's a really nice looking creation, obviously with the little fins at the top and obviously the wings there also. We seem to have a little cargo slash passenger area in the back here, 4 seats, which is very useful obviously for such a small size of aircraft itself. It doesn't seem to be anything on the roof itself, but overall just a little nice little area over there. We have the side doors to get in. We're going to jump into the pilot seat over here and we'll close the doors off. Now first off, as you can see, we have a couple controls here. We have the switch control seat, we have a key button, I'm guessing that's to start it. We also have the battery itself and battery charge rate, and then a couple other small little things. So not much going on inside it, but obviously it says in the name, it's a very small craft, it does what it's meant to do. So what I'll do is, let's go ahead and turn this on. Okay, everything seems to be going. We have our batteries charged, our beep lights on, great. And that's pretty much about it as far as I know. Doesn't seem to be any control labels. Let's check that seat out. No. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say that W is to move forward, and then that's to move back, and then up and down is going to be to get the fans going. So let's do that. It seems to hover at that altitude. Okay, that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get a little higher. Move it forward. Nice and stable. We can turn left and right. We can move it left and right there, and we can do the roll. Okay, that's quite nice. Everything's auto adjusting for us. As White Noise said, it's meant to be super stable. Like, you cannot flip this even if you try. We'll go ahead, let's get it up here, and let's just try and fly it around a bit. And yeah, so we have the flashing lights going along. As you can see here, it's flashing between red and white, which is really cool. He's using the RGB lights, as far as I'm aware, there to get the flashing, and obviously the colors changing, which is quite nice. The sound, it sounds quite weird, obviously, with these fans and no engines. It'll be interesting to see how long this thing actually lasts on its battery. Now, it seems to be that it's using its own battery to charge itself up. So I'm not sure if he's using the glitch at the moment with the battery charging, or he's just done it in a special way. But that's pretty interesting. So yeah, pretty nice little creation. And let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Now, moving on to the next creation of the episode, we have the ROLG C717B Milky Way update. This is a plane done by a content creator called Mr. Maniac. Now, once again, he's done a couple of creations here on the Top 5 Weekly, which has been quite well known. Along with that, this plane itself apparently is meant to be extremely safe. Now, he's built a couple of features into there with that, where it's apparently meant to have a emergency ejection system. Along with that, there's a couple other different systems he's gone in there, all once again, all safety oriented features, which would be pretty cool. So let's get straight into it and see what's going on. Now, starting at the front again on this aircraft, you can see here we have a couple sensors. Obviously we'll learn and we'll see what those do. We have the landing gear itself, which I really hope actually does close. I'm guessing it does because it has that front piece, same as the rear ones. It seems like they do close. A couple of the new portholes, which I like to see. Seems like we have a ramp door there. Along with that is the actual wings. The engines, which actually look really good. I'm guessing he's using the jet turbines. Along with that is a large fan in the front. Along with that, just a couple more not lights, little paint blocks with some detailing on there, and the rear part of the engine themselves. The engines look really good. I actually like that. And then the back part. There's no top section though of this actual rear tail, which is quite interesting. But really looks like a really cool, interesting design. And now we'll go ahead and jump into it. Ramp comes up. Nice and easy. I guess we can close that too. Now, before we go ahead and get into the cockpit, let's go and check out this area. Now, As I said earlier on, it's meant to be a safety aircraft, so it's got a whole bunch of obviously all these blocks everywhere, so to indicate different areas. That's pretty cool also. So we'll go ahead and move into here. Once again, really nice detailing moving forward. We have a open capsule controls. Ooh, that's interesting. So, okay, we'll leave that closed for now and we'll test that out later on. Let's go ahead and move into the back. Seems like we have like a little bit of a cargo area here in the back, which is pretty cool. So let's go close that off. Why am I trapped? Oh, I'm holding on to that. Let's go ahead and move into the next section. Close that door. Move into this section. What do we have in here? We have, okay, seems like just a normal section. Go ahead and close that. Let's move into here. Close that. So we don't damage any of the things we've been working with. Really nice cockpit layout. I have to admit, with the center console and all the controls, everything seems like it's meant to be where it is. We have pilot seat. We have another pilot seat. So I'm going to jump to the left one, and I hope that is the right one. Let's see what we have. We have altitude, desired speed. Okay. We have a eject sequence. Okay. Engine 1 fuel pumps, cockpit for the electricity. I guess we want that on. We're on interior lights, yes. Engine 2 fuel pump. Okay, I guess we'll get that on. We'll get that on too. Along with that is we have consumption, instrument lights, nav lights. We have in the center switch controls, empty fuel tanks, gears. Throttle, engine 1, engine 2, landing gear. Okay, cool. So what we'll do is, while we're on the ground here, we'll set a desired altitude of 100, so we can test it out later, and desired speed of, let's go 100 too, and we'll test that out and see if it works. Now, first of all, what I think we need to do is get our engines on. So let's get that on, and you can control the throttle, I think, by using WS. I'm not too sure. Let's just do it over here for now, and let's put let's just check our controls are working, and we have, yep, you can see the front, there's the front controls working over there, so we're good to go, and you can see the flaps in the wings turning a little bit, which is quite nice. It seems to be a whole bunch of parachutes on top. That's interesting. So what we'll do is, let's get the throttle all the way up. Is there a brakes button? I guess there is somewhere. No. Okay, we'll lift up and we'll see if we can get this guy lifted on. Okay, I've damaged a little bit of the back area. I think there were some brakes that I was meant to go ahead and turn off. I just can't see. Ah, there we go, landing gear brakes. My bad, I was meant to get those off. Overall, nice little plane. Nice and very responsive. Let's go ahead and test out our altitude hold. So we set an altitude of 100. Engaged, okay. What is our current altitude? Okay, so it's keeping the altitude. Let's hit the speed of 100. Okay, so you can see now it's going to automatically adjust that to hit our desired speed. So we're going around 100. That's pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, really nice little thing. We can obviously empty the fuel tanks. I'm guessing that drops fuel. Yeah, you can see we are now losing fuel from the wings. Okay, turn that off. Switch controls between different seats. That'll be useful also. So if you want your friend to take over and use it, that'll be quite nice. So what we're going to do is, let's go up to an altitude of about 500, and then let's test out this eject sequence and see what happens with that. Plane seems to be going up quite nicely. No issues at all. Ah, let's get the landing gear. Let's get the landing gear to close if we can. Okay, it seems like we've damaged it a bit, so... Oh no, it's all closed up, which is great. Perfect. And let's get the eject sequence going. Okay, hello. Okay, plane is gone. We're in our... Okay. We did have parachutes. They have seemed to have disappeared. So... that's pretty cool. And we just sunk straight to the ground and we're about to die. So yeah, let's get to the top and then we go see. So yeah, nice little creation. Really nice. It has that little ejection pod. I'd like to see what the back ejection area is like, but we'll check that out maybe in another video. But yeah. Now, moving on to the last creation of the week, we have the Dornier DO335 PIF Arrow. Now, this is obviously a World War II replica plane. It's done by a content creator called Roan Meadows. As it says in the name, replica World War II plane. The actual plane itself was a late World War II plane, which was doing bombing runs. So really quite nice. Nice to see some more replica World War II planes coming into the workshop, which is really nice. And also in advanced mode. And I've seen from the screenshot, it looks really impressive. So what we're going to do is we'll spawn in, see how it is and how it looks, and then we'll go ahead and fly it and see how it flies around. So we're going to start on the front side of this aircraft. Now overall, it's just a generally good looking replica aircraft with obviously the exhaust, the real markings, everything like that. It all looks really good. So I'm not going to spend too much time on the outside on this one, guys, as it is pretty much a stock outside. The detailing is really good. As I said, we'll go ahead, we'll jump into the actual cockpit and see what it is inside, and also test it out, see how it flies. Now straight away we're in the cockpit. We have quite a few controls here. We'll start on the right. We have the canopy first, we also have the throttle, we have the lights, we have the gear, couple indication lights, a couple sensors and things. We have the fuel pumps, which are automatically on by default. We have the collective, and then we also have the starter. So all we'll do is let's go ahead and turn the lights on. So with lights button, let's get the throttle all the way up. Along with that is let's get the canopy probably closed, get the starter on, and then along with that we'll go ahead and actually get the collective going. Now I've already lined up on the runway, so we're all good to go. So I think we can slowly start getting that collective up and start taking off. Fantastic. So we're up in the air just like that, very easy. Collective's good. Let's get rid of the landing gear. There we go. Really nice aircraft. Goes pretty fast, to be honest. Goes pretty fast. Now it is a little bit sensitive to things, I have to admit, but it is overall flying quite nicely and quite comfortably. I've obviously been in much worse aircraft, so don't worry about that. Really nice plane. Obviously you can see the exhaust coming from the front and the rear of the actual plane itself. But yeah, that's pretty much about it for this one. Just overall a really nice replica plane, nice creation, and yeah. So I think we'll go ahead and end today's video over there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and found it somewhat entertaining and informative as always, and we'll see you in the next one.